Let's go. We're doing this. Cave of the Scops. Okay, so... Right. But you had to do that. You all saw it, right? All saw it. I'm gonna just, Right, just make sure, you know? It did spawn. It had spawned from the beginning. That was weird. Slightly terrifying. Cave of Scops, right. It's an evil place. It's an alright place. It's definitely not my favorite world in this game. That is the one we had just before. It might just be the slight disappointment I have from this not being that world. Which is, okay. Which is saddening. But that is the way things are supposed to be. You see? Right. So, interesting place all around. Something will spawn. Because of course it bloody will. You all saw the signs on the wall. Crystal Palace. Interesting name for this location, as it doesn't really... I don't know, it seems sort of odd, sort of not fitting for this entire place, this entire prospect. That might just be me and my weird getting used to-ness of things. But yeah, I don't think it fits that well. I love the backdrop though. The backdrop is pretty sweet. And the music too is really cool, the way it blends. What to call it? It's pretty groovy. Pretty menacing too, in a way. Oh, feels good. Feels good, you know? Feels great. Great even. Great is how it feels, my dudes. Start spawning and you gotta go back because of course you bloody do. This is Rayman 1 to the PS1. Saturday night live. Broadcasted to your television screens. Nah, that didn't work. Just gonna check if my voice is recording. Of course it bloody is. What am I kidding? Of course it would be. Why wouldn't it be recording? What am I trying to fool anyway? Nobody knows. And nobody will ever truly know. How can we truly know the things that are not to be known? That is a good question, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea where we are supposed to be heading. But it is not the path of the one who dies. That is only something that is left for the uninitiated. Hopefully the fist will return so I cannot die. Yeah, that worked out pretty well. The whole part of not dying is a path that we all must strive to look for in this mortal coils of life. So what if we go down here? Is there anything unique? No, there's not. Nothing. That was just a test run to see if my sanity could sustain so much damage. And the answer is a profound no clue. Let's have a look at this. But yeah, no, seriously, the music it's pretty cool. And it will also be remixed in a non-minor key with a major component. I thought there was something down there. I am a man of few knowledge. So we will reach a place with a weird alien man who runs a cafe of sorts. It is not a very sustaining business, but he keeps doing it anyway because he's bloody extraterrestrial. Doesn't have any sense of business whatsoever. But that's what he does. He's a sad case of human studies. But we'll hear a remix of that tune is what I was trying to and forth with them. It's going to be in a major key, not a minor like this one, and it's going to be very different. Now this is another place and another tune. I'm not that fond of this tune actually, to be honest. I feel like it's a bit too sappy and sad in a way. I don't know, it might just be the flute works and the whole, like, this is really a sap story of sorts. Also these spike platforms are menacing as hell. They're almost, I find them quite frightening. As a little child playing this game, I found them very frightening. And it was an interesting experience, to say the least. One of these is not like the other. One of these just doesn't belong. It was the next one. We know where to go next, ladies and yes. A bit of the old 1-2 punch. So, the fourth one, I believe, right? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one, eh? And there's still these lightning eyes. I thought they were only present in the art world and the music world, but apparently I was mistaken. And not, are they? They've bloody never been, actually. It's just, it's such a menace. But you know, you gotta get rid of all these. You know, that is a name of this Rayman game. The small platform is, that's another thing that it's kind of hard to actually see what constitutes a platform and what does not. Oh yeah, these guys are not nice. Not in the slightest, actually. That is something you want to avoid. Probably after the Mars, probably the most frightening enemies in the entire game. I gotta write the safety net on that one and just say out loud. What? I mean, sure. Nobody told I was needing that. Nobody told I was in need of material wealth in a golden fisty manner. Oh, they're synced up perfectly. That's kind of a... could be an issue, but apparently, it was not, luckily. We are beyond such measly trifles, you know? It's not what we do in life. Alright, I just barely made it. So, I wanted to explain my hatred for Ferris Bueller, the movie. I just got reminded of it by seeing some video review talk about coming-of-age movies. And speaking of that, it's... I don't even know how to describe it, but it's not great. It's really not. Many people have this. It must be a sort of nostalgic factor because it really doesn't seem very profound at all in most aspects. It's just the worst part about it is that it's not funny enough to kind of. Oh yeah, there's something over here. I knew it. You know, I was supposed to make a leap of blind faith. Yeah, there we go. That's how you do it. It's a weird movie, alright, because it's not entertaining enough to kind of forgive and to kind of, what do you call it, compromise the general tone of it. Because it's so filthy in some weird way. What am I trying to say here? It's like Ferris Bueller truly is a spoiled brat who just carries on through life as if it's nothing, and he is privileged in many a right, and he feels almost entitled to have these days off, as they are explained. And he is never ever reprimanded for his behaviors, because ultimately he does kind of expose and showcase some somewhat narcissistic and almost psychopathic behaviors at times. And it's just in weird taste that it is never really showcased. It's just as if it is a glimmer story of him being the hero. There are some points to be made about his friend Cameron, who is easily the most sympathetic character in the entire movie, and also who has a relationship with this dude. And to begin to begin with, he's mostly exploited for the things he has and the things he can provide for Ferris Bueller, which is to say a vehicle, a Ferrari, which his dad has, which he ultimately breaks because of course he bloody does. And it's stuff like that that makes him ultimately a very unsympathetic character, and the fact that he is not reprimanded for any of those things is very sad, to say the least. Luckily his friend does have a kind of, what do you call it, an arc, which makes sense, somewhat. But it's still sad. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't condone the movie, at all. Anyhow, we will be fisting these meteor balls to death. No, we will not. We will go on. There is a speedrun tactic where you can just make this move and you can just carry on back without having to do all this. But it's sort of fun, you know, to see. Alright. This world also has some definitely bullesque sections, to say the least. But hey, that's just the name of the game, isn't it? I've said that exclamation 26 times in total when playing this game. I just wanted to point that out. Not that I've counted, but that is a rough estimate I have. And I trust my gut instincts. These dudes are somewhat sympathetic, not if you die though, and they're not sympathetic in the slightest. We're back in the proper section of the map again, and this time I will refrain from doing the silliest thing of taking this game seriously, which I did the last time around. And it ended up being my ultimate demise. Now let's see what hides on the other end. Yes. Someone told me it was gonna be this man. And someone tells me I do not give the slightest fuck to trifle with him. I have to time this properly. Right. I have it. And there we go. Quest completed. Yay for everyone who contributed to making this experience so great. Yay! Alright, next up is Edith Joe's, the extraterrestrial, which we will have to help plug in his butt plugs again. It will be an extremely interesting episode. Thank you for watching, and I will see you when it's hot and good. Goodbye.